Featuring the Tigers and Lady Tigers of Ouachita Baptist and the Bison and Lady Bison of Oklahoma Baptist. Hello again, everyone. I'm Todd Miller along with Cassidy Fletcher and Bob Beasley, our network coordinator, back at our Shawnee studios. Glad to have you along for the return game between Ouachita and Oklahoma Baptist. Ouachita swept OBU in late November in Arkadelphia. OBU hopes to get a February sweep here at the expense of the Tigers this afternoon in Shawnee. We'll step aside, take our opening timeout, be back to look back to the loss to Henderson State and set the stage for this afternoon's matchup with Ouachita. All that and more coming up in 2 minutes. This is Oklahoma Baptist basketball on Classic Hits KGFF.
I'm Attorney Noble McIntyre at McIntyre Law. Oklahoma now has more earthquakes than any other state in the union. Talk to your agent to make sure you have earthquake insurance. You need to protect your biggest investment. If your home has been damaged by an earthquake and your insurance company is refusing to pay your claim, you need to know your rights. You need a lawyer who has the resources and experience to take on those big insurance companies. Call McIntyre Law today. On behalf of myself and the entire McIntyre Law team, I can assure you, no one will work harder than we will.
OBU comes in with a record of 11-9, 6-8 of the conference, one full game back of Ouachita. The Lady Tigers are 11-9, 7-7 of the conference, and these two are coming off different outcomes on Thursday night. Ouachita got a last-second shot from Madison Britton, a three-pointer, to win at Southern Nazarene 69-68. OBU, meanwhile, dug themselves a huge first-period haul. They trailed at halftime by a count of 29-16 and went on to lose to Henderson State by a final of 77-71. As you'll hear with Casey Bays, the Jekyll and Hyde nature of this team continues. OBU played very poorly thanks to some really bad shot selection in the first half on Thursday night. Came back and really put the offense through the hands of Mackenzie Cooper and Tasha Edge, and the outcome was much different in the second half, but unfortunately the deficit was a little too much to overcome as Henderson State completes the season sweep of OBU, winning 77-71. One of the more disappointing aspects of the game and the loss was the rebounding totals, 40-30 for Henderson State. OBU did out-rebound Henderson by a board 12-11 to the offensive glass, leading to a 1-point second chance advantage for the Lady Bison, 13-12. OBU had 11 turnovers. They forced 22 for Henderson State, and in doing so, had a commanding 23-9 advantage in points off turnovers. In the end, though, OBU shot 51.5% of the second half, still only managed sub-40% field goal shooting for the ball game, 27 of 68. Meanwhile, Henderson State State hit some big threes, and they finished 7 of 21 from beyond the arc and 51% for the ball game. This will be a much different opponent today, as you'll hear with Casey a little bit later on in the pregame show. Well, Henderson State plays a lot like Oklahoma Baptist, up and down the floor. OBU not known for their post game. Ouachita will play for the inside out today, as they will work things through the post, and OBU is going to have to be very, very good on the defensive end. It was the Haley girls, Estes in the first half, who finished with a total of 16 points, and Haley Henson, who may today, by the day's end, be the all-time three-point shooter in Great American Conference women's basketball history, that did the damage. Henson really didn't do much of the first half. She hit 4 shots in the second half, 3 3-pointers, and 2 of them were huge. She finished with 13. Haley Estes had 16, as we told you. She was 4 of 8, shooting 4 of 7 from 3, and 19 points from last year's freshman of the year in the conference, Pink Jones. OBU got a team-high 18 from Shaylin Coleman, who played much better in the second half. Coleman had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals in 37 minutes. Autumn Avena did not have one of her better basketball games, 4.7 boards, 3 assists, 2 turns. She did have a block and 2 steals. Mackenzie Cooper and Tasha Edge both finished with 12 points. Edge had just 1 rebound, and that was a season low for her. Edge came into the game as one of the top 3 leading rebounders in the conference. She still leads OBU and is among the leaders in that category as well overall in the GAC at 8.3 caroms per ball game. Quick starts have really not been that great for OBU at times this year. They need one today against the Ouachita team that in the first period of games this year have been outscored by a total of 8 points. OBU, meanwhile, has been plus 42 in the first period of games this season. Lady Bison come in with a scoring margin of 5.6 per game to the good side. OBU averages 81.3 points per ball game. Defensively, they give up 75.8. Ouachita is a team that the higher the score goes, the less likely they are to win. They love to control tempo. We told you they won 69-68 on a last-second three-pointer by Madison Britton on Thursday night. This is a team that averages less than 69 points per ball game. Ouachita averages 68.7. Defensively, they are among the league's best at 67.8. Lady Tigers come in with a record of 11-9, a game ahead of Oklahoma Baptist in the conference standings at 7-7. OBU is 6-8, 11-9 overall. Let's take a look at the rest of the action going on across the Great American Conference today. In addition to this game here at Shawnee, Henderson State visits Southern Nazarene. Southern Arkansas is at East Central. Arkansas Monticello at Southeastern. Harding is up in Alvin to take on Northwestern, and in Weatherford today, Southwestern entertains Arkansas Tech. That is a matchup of the top 2 women's teams of the Great American Conference. Southwestern, with a win over Harding on Thursday night, becomes the first women's team in the league to clinch a ticket to the Great American Conference postseason tournament next month in Bartlesville. Wazoo 14-0. They are ranked to the top 10 nationally. Arkansas Tech 2 games back in the standings at 12-2. Henderson State is in third at 10-4. Ouachita a game ahead of OBU, Southeastern, East Central. All those 3 are 6-8 of the season. Ouachita, as we've told you, 7-7 of the conference. But then there's a log jam with a lot of teams lurking just behind the likes of OBU, Southeastern, and East Central. That's Northwestern, Harding, Southern Nazarene, and Southern Arkansas, all who are 5-9 of the conference. And Arkansas Monticello continues to flounder. They are 3-11. Southern Arkansas has won 2 straight since OBU beat them last week in Magnolia. That game went to overtime, and they are playing very, very good basketball and a dangerous team if they continue to make strides going forward into postseason play. When we return, we'll have our afternoon visit with head coach Casey Bays as OBU gets set to host Ouachita this afternoon inside the Noble Complex. We'll pause. This is Oklahoma Baptist basketball on Classic Hits KGFF. Thank you, Bob. Back here at the Noble Complex, Oklahoma Baptist and Ouachita Baptist coming up at the top of the hour. Casey Bass joins us here on the pregame show, and big game. Not the results you were hoping for, Casey, on Thursday night, 77-71. And with this team, in so many cases, it was a lot like other games, a Jekyll and Hyde performance.
Yeah, that's just been our story all season. That's something going into with our scout going over Henderson State. I told them Henderson is not the team that you can come out and start out slow because you'll dig yourself a hole, and that's kind of what we did. We didn't have a good first half and let them do whatever they wanted offensively, and that's not a team we can do that against.
I thought you did a good job defensively in the first half on Henson. It was Estes that hurt you from the perimeter. It was almost like those two flipped roles in the second half.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about at halftime. Hey, we've got to do a better job on defending, number 3. And on the perimeter in the second half, I thought we did. And then, we got back within twice, one time at 4 points and one time at 6 points. And Henson come down and, drains 2 threes to get back within 9 and 11 points. And, but hey, again, the second half, I thought the girls did what they needed to do. I was proud of them. Again, if we would have done it the first half, I think, we might have had a chance to beat them.
Shot selection of the first half, something you and I have talked about off air, Casey, was something that really, really bothered you. You started putting the offense more through McKenzie, through Tasha in the second half, and you had much better results.
Yeah, I mean, we were coming down just jacking up shots, even from the very beginning. That's not something we've talked about doing. Our offense, revolves around Tasha Edge and Mackenzie Cooper. They have to touch the basketball every possession, and they weren't getting the touches that they needed. And when that happened in the third quarter, Lexi was open, and she came in and scored 13 points, and Shaylin Coleman got hot in the fourth quarter. And so when they touch the basketball every possession, it gives a higher opportunity for the others to step up and have a better shot selection.
This team has been very, very disappointing in the terms of consistency, and now it's gone from quarter to quarter and half to half. Is it just a lack of focus? Because it's certainly not a lack of effort or lack of preparation, and sometimes I think you can see that on the glass. I mean, you'll rebound well for a while, and then you end up getting out-rebounded by 10 boards the other night.
Yeah, I think it's just having 5 people on the same page on the courts, and I don't think everyone was on the same page to start that game. No doubt in my mind they wanted to win. They knew what we needed to do to win, but I don't think we were all on the same page as what we needed to do that first quarter. And when we came down, and I think we made our first shot, and then after that we went 0 of 6 on trips, and we didn't make a shot. And, it just kind of went downhill from there on the first half.
19 points from Lexi Williams. She had a couple of rebounds and 3 steals. Lexi is not a vocal leader, but her effort on both ends of the floor is a great example for the rest of her teammates.
Yeah, I know what I'm going to get from Lexi Williams day in and day out. She hustles. I mean, she's our defensive go-getter. When we need a rebound or if we need a layup, she's the go-to, and I know she's going to make it. And no matter what, I tell Lexi I'm going to get that from her. So her stepping up in the third quarter like she did and doing what she needed to do, she did exactly what I asked of her, and she did it.
This team has relied heavily on Mackenzie Cooper and Tasha Edge scoring. One of the things I liked about the game Thursday night was neither had great games. Both had 12, which is below their per-game average, but you had other girls step up, and I think that shows yourselves, the team, and the rest of the league, this is far from just a 2-player show.
Yeah, and again, but I think all that was done in the second half when they touched the basketball every possession. Like we talked about, things open up more for the other girls. So when they touched the basketball, even like I said, they only had 12 points apiece, and Shaylin Coleman stepped up, and Lexi Williams stepped up, and I think we got within 4 points there in a minute and a half, and ended up having a foul. But they fought back within, because I think Henderson got up 21 points at one time. So again, I think it kind of shows what we can do still. 18
points was the biggest lead, and that came with 1:35 to go in the second period. Henderson in the background now, time to move forward to Ouachita Baptist this afternoon. And I don't think, from a scouting standpoint, you can find 2 different opponents in preparing for.
Absolutely. One Henderson State plays, like we do, and then now we're going to see a little bit more of a slow pace or game. They like to set up and run half-court offenses, and that's something that's going to be huge for us today. We've got to control the tempo and make Ouachita run with us. So we need to make sure that we don't get down to how they want to play and get to playing their level of game. So we got to make sure we push the basketball from the very beginning and attack the basket early.
Ouachita is also kind of an inside-outside team. Unlike Henderson State, they want to run everything through the post game.
Yeah, they have a great inside game, so we got to make sure that we block out inside and don't allow any second chance and third chance opportunities. We haven't been a great team at blocking out, and we've got to make sure that we do that today and take care of business.
Ouachita is a team that, as you mentioned, tempo is key. They like to keep it in the 60s. You like to go 75 plus. I think early you might be able to see who wins this game by who's able to dictate their tempo.
Yeah, I know. Ouachita's averaging 68 points. We're averaging 81, 82 points. So we got to make sure from the very beginning we are running the floor, getting layups in transition early, and so we can't have a slow start like we did against Henderson on Thursday.
Crazy league. I mean, a win today puts you probably back in fourth place. A loss puts you out of the playoffs at this point. And you turn around, you look at Harding, you look at Southern Arkansas that were struggling early, Casey, and they're right there nipping at everybody's heels.
Yeah, like you said, if we win this, we'll be tied again with Ouachita again for fourth. If we lose, we'll fall to, it could be 6, 7, or 8, depending on what happens with the other opponents in the league.
How was practice yesterday? You feel like the girls have put Henderson State behind them?
Still got a bad taste in their mouth because they know if they didn't play like they did in the first half, it could have been a different outcome. But I think it was a learning experience even this late into the season. We've got to start out as good as we can, not start out slow, because we're not that type of team that can dig that big of a hole and get back within, a winning chance. And Ouachita, they beat us on their home court by 6. Again, Autumn Avino, our point guard, got, hurt in that game in the first half, and we had to play the second half without her. So, we are, like I said, post play is going to be huge, blocking out is going to be huge, and controlling the tempo is going to be big for us today.
I know you do all you can day in and day out, game in and game out, but at what point does this team start playing their best basketball? Because you've said all year long, I feel like it's still ahead of us.
I still believe it's still in front of us. We see glimpses of it, we'll see halves of it, we'll see quarters of it, but again, we've got to put 4 quarters together still, and when we do that, hopefully it's today.
Nice to know you haven't played your best basketball and you're right in the thick of things, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I never, with all the things that's happened to us this year, again, I wouldn't have thought that. That's why I'm very pleased with this group of girls and proud of them for what they fought through, and, we're still doing big things.
Casey alluded to in her pregame comments that the Lady Bison lost to Ouachita Baptist at Arkadelphia back in late November. 66-60 was the final score. Mackenzie Cooper had 16 points. Shaylin Coleman and Kadisha Cooper added 10 apiece for the Lady Bison. OBU shot 20% from three-point range. Chastity Owens had 15. Madison Britton had 12. Morgan Miller grabbed 11 or 14 rebounds in a winning effort for Ouachita Baptist. Mackenzie Cooper, by NCAA minimums, leads the Great American Conference in three-point shooting, hitting 49.6% of her three-point shots, and also is the conference best for the free throw line at 91.8%. The OBU school record for excellence for the free throw line is currently held by Rachel Stark during her National Player of the Year campaign in 2001. Stark that season converted on 86.7% of her free throw attempts. Tasha Edge begins the afternoon with 1,245 points. She's currently 16th all-time on OBU's career scoring list. Andy Holubova and Kendra Bayless are tied currently at 14th with 1,250. It will take some time, though, for Tasha to get into 13th place, where Elizabeth Willis waits with 1,357 points. Mackenzie Cooper has 1,130 points in her career, currently 22nd on the all-time scoring list here on Bison Hill. Number 21 is Christy Turley at 1,142, and the top 20 is guarded by Michelle LaGrange, who currently owns that position with 1,153 points. We'll have more pregame notes as we get you closer to tip-off in the return game from Arkadelphia. It's Ouachita and Oklahoma Baptist coming up shortly on Classic Hits KGFF.
At Oklahoma Baptist University, we'll help you find your passion in a community where your professors know you by name.
We'll help you find your purpose by bringing faith and knowledge together through a Christian perspective.
We'll help you find your future with a world-class education that prepares you for a successful career.
We'll help you find a place to grow into who you were meant to be.
Come grow with us. OBU, find your place.
Trade it in for more and buy it for less. At Hudaberg Chevy in Midwest City, it's that simple. Get more money for your trade and buy new Chevys for less. And you'll get payments that fit any budget. HudabergGM.com.
You can count on Hudaberg, we'll give you more.
And also worldwide on the web at obubison.com/watch. Busy day of sports action here on Bison Hill. Among those teams in action is Pam Fink and the reigning NCCAA National Softball Champions. They are continuing day 2 of play in the Southwestern Regional Invitational. Lady Bison played at 9:30 on the field as we speak as well. Their opponents today, Washburn and also Missouri Southern. Yesterday, OBU went 1-1 of that tournament, losing to Tarleton State and beating Pittsburgh State. Baseball is home this afternoon. Live stats only from Bison Field and Ford Park. OBU got a perfect game from 3 pitchers last night in beating Manhattan Christian in their season opener 12-0. Same 2 teams in a pair of games across campus later this afternoon. Again, live stats at obubison.com. Don't forget you can make a difference in the success of our athletic program. Join the Stampede and make it an investment in the lives of nearly 500 young men and women who wear the green gold as they learn, grow, and compete on Bison Hill. For more information, contact the Stampede office, 405-585-5300 on ways to sign up. OBU basketball brought to you by the First National Bank and Trust Company. You can show your team spirit with the OBU Choice account and debit card featuring the Bison logo. OBU Choice includes Identity IQ Pro, shopping rewards, cashback savings, and much more. Stop by our locations at MacArthur or Fire Lake in Shawnee for more details. That's the First National Bank and Trust Company, your bank for life. Member FDIC. Oklahoma Baptist basketball is also brought to you by Grissom's, where we believe that doing good is good business. We have kept that belief since our founding in 1965. With 6 locations and a team of more than 100 employees across central and eastern Oklahoma, at Grissom's, we are committed to serving those linked to the land by earning their trust and respect. Visit us at grissomonline.com to find a location nearest you. Gary Crowder in his 23rd season as a collegiate coach at Ouachita has 342 wins on the Lady Tiger bench. He'll be opposed by OBU legend, and as far as playing is concerned, now in her 6th season, Casey Bays, 106 wins and 70 losses. Casey is 24-34 in her career on the OBU bench against the Great American Conference. That is today's pregame show. We'll step aside, be back with the starting lineups, and we'll tip off Game 1 of this Great American Conference twin bill. It's the Lady Tigers and the Lady Bison coming up next from Shawnee on Classic Hits KGFF. Okay.
protect over both the teams, and protect over the visiting team, that they'll have a safe trip home. And I just want to thank you in your mighty, awesome name. Amen.
In memory of respect to those who served and have served our country, please remain standing as one nation under one flag to honor America with the singing of the national anthem performed this afternoon by Kimberly Priest.
Bob, could you make this a 3-minute break? Bob, make this a 3-minute break if you can. With that, we welcome you back to the campus of Oklahoma Baptist University in the Noble Complex for this afternoon's Great American Conference Twin Bill, Ouachita Baptist and Oklahoma Baptist. Here's a look at today's starting lineups. First of all, for head coach Gary Crowder, in his 23rd season, a legendary high school basketball coach in the state of Arkansas. 342 career wins at the collegiate level with Ouachita, 404 career wins in 16 high school seasons. He will start Mahia Gertson. Gertson is a 5'6" freshman from Latvia. She had 3 points, a rebound in the first meeting with OBU. Morgan Miller will start, a 5'10" senior from Siloam Springs, Arkansas. It's her 17th start. She averages 9.4 points per ball game and 4.8 rebounds. She had 14 points and 5 boards in the first meeting in Arkadelphia. Chastity Owens, a 5'11" sophomore from Springdale, Arkansas, will start. She averages 10 points and a team-high 5.4 rebounds. Madison Britton is a 6' sophomore from Bentonville, Arkansas, averaging 9 points and 3 boards. And Corey Bullard, a 6'2" senior from Hot Springs, Arkansas, two-sport standout at Ouachita, also an outstanding volleyball player, completes their starting lineup. She averages 6.4 points per ball game and 4.9 rebounds. That's the starters for Ouachita Baptist, 11-9, 7-7 in the Great American Conference. Here's the way the Lady Bison line up this afternoon.
Number 3, Shaylin Coleman, Jr., Dallas, Texas.
Number 20, Mackenzie Cooper, redshirt junior, Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Number 21, Tasha Edge. I'm a senior from Aurora, Colorado.
Number 23, my name is Autumn Avina. I'm a junior, and I'm from Austin, Texas.
Number 25, Lexi Williams, senior, Inola, Oklahoma.
Those are the starters for Casey Bays, 106-70 here on Bison Hill. 24-34 her career record at OBU against Great American Conference competition. And Coach Bays 2-3 currently head-to-head with Gary Crowder and Ouachita Baptist. Casey, incidentally, a standout player, as you know, top 5 all-time leading scorer, one of the most prolific three-point shooters in program history. Also was the 9th head coach here at OBU. She was an assistant for 2 years before ascending to the head coaching position, and she currently sets 14 wins out of 3rd place all-time on the career wins list at OBU. Lady Bison being out-rebounded by just over 2 boards per contest. They'll face a Ouachita team that, despite their interior strength, being out-rebounded by 1.7 boards per contest. So 2 keys to watch this afternoon: who can control the tempo who wins the battle of the boards wins the basketball game. Ouachita out of the floor, the Lady Tigers in the black, gold, and purple. OBU with a home white, green, and gold. Ouachita Baptist will go from right to left. OBU left to right inside the Noble Complex, where Ouachita is 1-1 all time. This year, the Lady Tigers 3-5 in road games, including a thrilling will be one. Lady Tigers away. Cassidy Owens. She had these two teams played back in November. They leave it out high for Corey Bullard. Swings it left side for Gertson. Gertson gets a return pass. Angle dribbles left. First possession of the afternoon. There's no score. Into the paint goes Owens. Comes to a jump stop. Sets Gertson up. Misses that three. Rebound tipped out. It's run down by Ouachita Baptist. They'll have another opportunity. Here we go. Second chance opportunity for the Lady Tigers. Britton drives in. Funnels a pass to Owens, who goes up and banks in a turnaround jump shot. Cassidy Owens with the first bucket of the ball game. Second chance points, and it's 2-0 in favor of Ouachita with 9:19 to play in the opening period. Wing right with it is Shaylin Coleman, left of the Cooper screen. Flips a pass out high to Williams. Lexi with it to Mack, right corner, dribbles into the paint, draws a double team, cross courts it for Autumn. To Edge, puts up a three. The shot was blocked by the long arms of Morgan Miller, and the rebound to Ouachita Baptist. In transition with it is Britton, lost it, got it back. Now shoots a pass baseline left for Cassidy Owens. To Gertson for three, and she banks that one in at the top of the circle. It's actually Bullard and not Gertson that knocks down the three. Two bank shots that have found their way to the bottom of the basket for Ouachita. They lead 5-0. Edge will put up another three. This time she answers cleanly at the top of the circle. Tasha knocks down the three-point basket, her 50th of her senior season. OBU cuts it to a one-possession game at 5-3. Owens with it to the front court left for Ouachita. Cross courts it for Britton to Owens, who cuts to the basket. Tried to kick it cross court and threw it 2 rows into the stands behind the Lady Bison bench. First turnover of the contest for Ouachita Baptist. Again, the first period this year. The Lady Tigers have been outscored a net of 8. OBU plus 42 in their first 20 games of the first period this year. Out high with it is Avina. Drives in, gets it to Edge, who scoops it up. Overshot the basket, but Autumn tips the rebound up at the end. Lady Bison have scored 5 straight since Ouachita took a 2-possession lead. We're 2 minutes deep, and we're tied at 5. Left corner with the basketball for Ouachita Baptist is Bullard to Gertson. They swing it through the top of the circle. Britton with it right wing. Shot clock down at their 15 already for the Lady Tigers. Owens to a cutter. Down the paint goes Miller. The shot's blocked. Edge with the block. Tasha the rebound. Gets it to Coleman, who drives in, pitches left side for Cooper. Max three is a little long. McKenzie gets the rebound, goes back up and under, and she traveled in doing so. So OBU turns it over for the first time. They do get an offensive rebound. Offensive rebounds even at 1 here early. 2.5 minutes gone for the Noble Complex. We're tied at 5. Gertson with the basketball in the front court. Underhands a pass in front of us for Miller. She'll shoot it across the floor for Madison Britton. OBU in a man-to-man defense. They'll leave it right circle for Owens, and she cleanly hits the three. Cassidy Owens has hit her 4th three-point basket in 2 meetings with OBU. From 3-point range this season. Actually, that's just her second. She's 2 for 11, so both of them have come at the expense of the Lady Bison. Now the paint goes Edge, throws up a runner, reels off, no good. Tasha fights for the rebound and goes back up and in. Edge looks like she may be off to a great start today in a big game. 5 points, a couple of offensive rebounds. OBU trails Ouachita by 1, and they get a steal on the other end. Shaylin Coleman intercepts the pass to the left low post. Now accelerates to the foul line, kicks it out, Edge, wide open wing left. Puts that three up, missed it. Avita with a rebound. Autumn, the second leading offensive rebound of the ball club, finds the cutting Williams, who flips it up and in. And OBU has scored 4 straight to lead for the first time today at 9-8 with 6.5 minutes to go in the first period. Gertson left unguarded, hesitates, now puts up a three and rolls off. Avina speeds into the forecourt to Mack. Right side, Cooper drives in, throws up a left-hander. Short rims it off the front iron. And Ouachita tips the rebound. 9-8 OBU. Left side with it is Miller. She'll catch and fire a three. That one doesn't go. Nobody down for the Lady Tigers to corral the rebound. McKenzie has it. Cooper to the front court to Autumn Avina, right side. Under 6 minutes to go in the opening period. OBU by a point. Avina to the rack. Layup good. Boy, OBU looks good offensively. A lot of players getting involved, and they have scored 6 straight, have the Lady Bison, to erase a 3-point deficit in an early 5-0 hole. OBU 11, Ouachita Baptist 8 at the Noble Complex. Out high is Britton to Gertson, back to Britton. Britton fumbles it, gets it down to Bullard. Bullard one-hands a pass to Mejia Gertson. Gertson back to Bullard, down to Gertson, top of the circle with 10 to shoot. Good defense by the Lady Bison. Bullard cross-courts it for Owens, turns to the 3, drives. Coleman cuts her off. They pitch right side to Gertson, who knocks down the 3. Ouachita averages just under 7 made threes per ball game. Of their first 4 baskets, 3 have come from long distance, and the game is tied at 11. First tie as we played almost 5 minutes of the ball game. Coleman works around Miller, lays it up and in. Coleman with the layup. Gets her first basket. OBU leads at 13-11 with 5 minutes to go here in the first period. Left wing side with it is Gertson. Top of the circle it goes for Bullard. Back to Mejia. Mejia bounces it for Corey. He squares up and missed a 12-footer over Cooper baseline left. Edge was in position for the rebound. Coleman grabs it away from her. Shea goes coast to coast for the layup. Missed it. Avina tacks for the rebound and slams it to the floor hard out of bounds as we'll get substitutions off the Ouachita Baptist bench. Beckno will check in. Olivia Huell is going to come in. And Jakaya Clay, 32, will be into the lineup out of the timeout. 4:51 to go in the first period. OBU leads Ouachita Baptist 13-11. This is Lady Bison basketball on Classic Hits, KGFF.
I'm Attorney Noble McIntyre at McIntyre Law. Oklahoma now has more earthquakes than any other state in the union. Talk to your agent to make sure you have earthquake insurance. You need to protect your biggest investment. If your home has been damaged by an earthquake and your insurance company is refusing to pay your claim, you need to know your rights. You need a lawyer who has the resources and experience to take on those big insurance companies. Call McIntyre Law today. On behalf of myself and the entire McIntyre Law team, I can assure you, no one will work harder than we will.
Number 23, Olivia Huell. And number 32, Jakaya Clay.
Ouachita basketball out of the timeout. OBU leads by 2 with 4:40 to play in the first period. Lady Bison off to a 6 for 13 shooting start. Ouachita 4 of 9, 3 of 6 from 3. 3 new players out there, as we told you, going to the break for Coach Crowder. Shot clock under 10 already. Burkdoe kicks it over the right wing side. They feed it down low with the block for Jakaya Clay. Clay pivots through a double team, airballs the jumper. Rebound hustled down by Ouachita, but the shot clock expires. And that will be the 3rd turnover for the Lady Tigers. OBU has turned it over once. There's been 2 ties, 2 lead changes here in less than 6 minutes of play at the Noble Complex. Avina with the basketball, sidesteps right wing, hands it off in front of the Ouachita bench for Cooper. To Autumn, probes her way, now spins right block, draws a double team. Cross courts it for the open shooter. Edge's 3 was halfway down and spun out. Rebound to Ouachita. OBU still leads by 2. Their biggest lead has been 3. That was early on at 11-8. Between the circles with it is Burkdoe. She'll swing it over the left side for Huell. Olivia kicks it top of the circle for Chastity Owens. Owens finds a cutter, and going to the rim and scoring is Morgan Miller. Miller led the team with 30 minutes of play against Southern Nazarene. 14 points and 5 rebounds in the earlier meeting. Game tied at 13 with 3.5 minutes to go in the first half period. Williams with it left side to Cooper. OBU is yet to go to the bench of this one. Coleman with it right side, left of the screen from Edge. 9 to shoot. Coleman veers back right, steps inside the arc. Shot was partially blocked. It came up short, but Ouachita unable to corral the rebound. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with OBU, but the Lady Bison need to be aware just 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 13-13 our score with 3:20 to go in the first half. Inbound, or first period. Avina inbounds, cross court to Coleman, looks up, goes to the rack, throws it up with 1 on the shot clock, and she ends up on the floor where she'll go to the free throw line. Ouachita foul called on 23, Olivia Huell. That'll be her first and the first against the Lady Tigers. Nearly 7 minutes into this ball game. Shaylin Coleman will go to the free throw line. Coleman in a big second half, finished with 18 points against Henderson State here. And she splashes down the first free throw. Shaylin Coleman for the foul line this year is a 68% free throw shooter. On the 2 games of this homestand with that make, she's now 5 of 5. Second free throw is up, and she rolls that one in. So Shea has 4, and OBU again takes the lead by 2. Lady Bison with full court pressure. 15-13 our score. In the backcourt with it is Burkdo. Cross courts it for Miller. Dumps it down low, and a cross-court pass for Clay, who goes up and lays it in. Jakaya Clay with her first basket. That was too easy for Ouachita against the full court pressure. Tied at 15 with under 3 minutes to play here in the first period. Between the circles with it is Cooper. Gets a screen, moves left, goes to the goal, and a hard foul as she ends up on the floor and will go to the free throw line. The Ouachita foul will be against 32. That is Jakaya Clay, who also went tumbling underneath the goal.
Second team foul.
McKenzie, who, as we talked about on the pregame show, is on pace to set a single-season free throw percentage record here on Bison Hill. Hits the first free throw. As good as McKenzie has been this year for the line, and again, she's 92%. She was out before the game today taking shots from the free throw stripe. First substitution of the afternoon, Kadisha Cooper comes in. Mack hits the second. Cooper with her first points of the ball game. And now all 5 starters for OBU have scored in this one. 17-15 our score with 2:41 to play in the opening period. Between the circles with it is Chastity Owens. Swings it left side for Miller to Owens on a give and go. Goes up. Coleman thought she had a block, but Shea's going to pick up the foul. It'll be her first. It'll be team foul number 2 against the Lady Bison with 2:38 to go in the first period. Next Thursday night, we come to you from Searcy, Arkansas. It'll be the Lady Bisons and the Lady Bison, Harding and Oklahoma Baptist. That'll be the start of the final regular season road trip to Arkansas for both OBU's men and women. First foul shot, back rim's no good. And we'll get a second free throw upcoming from Chastity Owens. So Owens can reduce the deficit at half with a second free throw here, and she does. Owens has her 4th point. And OBU's lead is 17-16. 2.5 minutes to go first period. Avita loses the handle right side in front of the Ouachita bench. Picked up by Coleman. Shea drives in, trying a short hop bounce pass for Avita, and it's off of her fingertips out of bounds. Lady Bison give up the basketball on their second, their second turnover of the ball game. 2:19 to play, first period. OBU by 1. Ouachita with the basketball, moving left to right. On the wing with it is Shaquilla Burkdo. Burkdo cross-court it. Now they work to Miller, foul line right. Miller holds it above her head, works middle of the floor. Now cross-courts it for Huell. Huell with it on the wing to Owens to Huell. Shot clock under 10 now for Ouachita. You can see how they want to play this game at a snail's pace. Wing left with it is Chastity Owens. Leaves it for Miller for 3 with 2 to shoot. Won't go. Rebound knocked around. Lost by Jakaya Clay, and OBU has it. Kadisha Cooper with it to Coleman. Coleman crossover dribble. Yo-yo's out front to Avina. Swings it left for Edge. Edge against the Ouachita man-to-man defense to Shea out front. Coleman with it to Kadisha Cooper, foul line right. She bangs her way into the paint, kicks it out to Edge. Bang! She got the 3. Tasha Edge with 8 already, and OBU leads it by 4, 20-16, with 92 seconds to go in the first period. Lady Bison with their biggest lead of the ball game. Ouachita jumped out to a 5-0 advantage, but has since squandered that lead here at the Noble Complex. Burkdo with it, top of the circle to Owen. Steps inside the arc and knocks down a long 2. That wasn't Owen, but instead it was Jakaya Clay with the basket, and that's her 4th. 20-18 to score, 71 seconds to go, first period. Cooper gives it up fake. Mack drives it, is cut off. Good defense by Chastity Owens. Coleman with it, slot right. Cross courts at left circle for Autumn Avina. Avina holds her left hand to the air, 12 to shoot. She pounds the basketball out front. Wing right, it goes for Coleman, who drives to the goal. Layup, no good. It spun around, fell off, but Edge is there to clean up the miss. She's fouled, and Tasha's going to go to the free throw line. Clay has picked up her 2nd personal foul, and Lexi Williams is about to check back in, the senior from Inola, who's the only starter that's been sub-4 here in the first period of this ball game. Tasha Edge, a good foul shooter, is 83% of the season, and the first one is up and good. Tasha has a chance to become the game's first double-figure scorer with a 2nd free throw here. Coleman will check out. Lexi is back in. OBU is 3, make that 5 of 5, and now 6 of 6 for the foul line. They're 18 of 18 of this 2-game homestand with Henderson State and Ouachita for the free throw line. Lady Bison by 4, 22-18 with 41 seconds to go in the first period. Wing right with it is Olivia Huell in the front court. She leaves it for Burkno to Huell. She drives into the paint, throws up a runner, and knocks it down. Olivia Huell with her first basket. She had 6 and 3 rebounds against OBU at Arkadelphia back on the final day of November. Difference of 2.5 on the shot and game clock, so OBU cannot play for the final shot of the period. Avina looking over her right shoulder, back to Casey Bays in front of us. Now gets the instructions. They'll set the offense in motion with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Shot clock down to 8. Avina angle dribbles right. 5 to shoot. Edge pops out, attacks left. Funnels a pass to Cooper from 18. Airballed it. Kadisha's first field goal attempt of the period won't go. And a travel called against Olivia Huell as time expires in the backcourt. OBU wins the first period 22-20 over Ouachita Baptist. We're back with second period action next. This is Oklahoma Baptist basketball on KGFM.
I'm attorney Noble McIntyre with McIntyre Law. If you've had a hip replacement surgery recently, you may have had an artificial implant with metal-on-metal contacts. If so, you may be experiencing pain or other side effects, and you need to know your rights. Metal-on-metal hips have had significant problems, and some have even been recalled. Know your rights. If you or someone you love needs our help, put your future in the hands of an experienced trial lawyer. Call McIntyre Law today. On behalf of myself and the entire McIntyre Law team, I can assure you, no one will work harder than we will.
Trade it in for more, buy it for less. It's that easy. At Hudeberg Buick GMC in Midwest City, it's that simple. Get more money for your trade and buy new Buicks and GMCs for less. HudebergGM.com.
You can count on Hudeberg, we'll give you more.
Lady Bison basketball this afternoon against Ouachita, brought to you by St. Anthony Shawnee. They have a game plan. It's simple to keep you healthy. Visit StAnthonyShawnee.com. And folks, if you're looking for great barbecue, stop by Rob's Smokehouse before or after any home OBU basketball game and try their famous Super Spud. Rob's Smokehouse is located directly across from the OBU campus at 2321 North Kickapoo. First half shooting numbers, OBU 7 of 18, 39%. Ouachita 53%, 8 of 15. 3-point shooting, 3 of 7 Lady Tigers, 2 of 6 OBU. Lady Bison basketball to start period number 2, moving left to right with a 2-point lead, 22-20. Williams drives baseline right, cross courts it for Edge. She's been hot early and got it out of the way. Tasha Edge has 3 3-point baskets. She is 3 of 6 from beyond the arc and 4 of 9 shooting. Tasha Edge with 13. That's a team at game high total. OBU has equaled Ouachita's early 5-point advantage, leading 25-20. Wing right with it is Gertson, who starts the second period. She'll funnel it out high, and Burkno knocks down a 3. 4 of 8, 50% 3-point shooting for Ouachita here in the first half. 25-23. Williams angle dribbles to the right corner. Leaves it for Coleman and crisply cross-courts it for Mack. Cooper's 3 spins off, and Jakiah Clay has the Lady Tiger rebound. To Gertson, who speeds to midcourt, now lobs it up ahead right side, and McKenzie knocks it away from Madison Britton out of bounds. Corey Bullard will come in and replace Jakiah Clay, who has given Coach Crowder 4 points but 2 fouls in about 6 minutes of playing time. Ouachita has used their bench more here early than has OBU, and the reserves for the Lady Tigers with an early 6-0 points advantage. Foul line left with it is Burkno, has her back to the basket, now squares up, pitches it cross court to Gertson. Back to Bullard, to Mejia, left side for Burkno. Shot clock at 7 for Ouachita. OBU's in his own. They cross-courted right side. Britton will put up a 3. At front rim's no good. Underneath with a rebound is Huell, and lost the handle on the way out of bounds as Lexi Williams ends up on the floor. I laughed because when the whistle blew, I think Lexi thought she was going to pick up the foul, and she had a puzzled look on her face, almost like a kid that had gotten caught with her hand to the cookie jar. Williams tries to pitch it out at the other end, right wing side for Cooper. It's deflected. Avina comes in to replace Kadisha Cooper. So the original starting 5 back out there for Coach Base's club. OBU leads it by 2. They led a moment ago by 5 at 25-20. 8:19 to play here in the first half for the Noble Complex. Coleman working one-on-one against Britton. Lobs it to Edge. Misses that one straight on. Off the front of the rim, Ouachita pulls down the rebound. Huell speeds back the other way. Spins into the paint, lost the handle when it's out of bounds. And the Lady Tigers turn it over for the 4th time. OBU early points off turnovers with only a 4-3 advantage today. over the Lady Tigers of Ouachita. 25-23 our score. 8:11 to play here in the first half. Into the front court with it is Autumn Avina. Angle dribbles left. Now comes back middle of the floor. Right side with it is Tasha Edge. Edge takes the dribble. Leaves it for Lexi right corner. Back to Edge. Pulled it away from the defender and lays it in. Boy, Tasha having a great game. 15 for the senior from Aurora. 27-23. The other end, Britton gets a half-court pass. Unguarded. Missed a wide-open three left wing from 22. Cooper with a rebound. McKenzie crosses over, gets to the rim, scoops it high up off the glass and in. OBU getting what they want around the basket here in the first half against Ouachita. Lady Bison leading by 6, 29-23. Under 7.5 to play first half. Wing left with it is Olivia Huell. Spins in against Williams. Lexi cuts her off of the block. They cross-courted for Gertson. Wide open right corner is Burkno, and she switches down the three. Megno knocks down her second three-point basket. 29-26 at OBU with a turnover at the other end as Bullard tips an entry pass away on the left low post. Bullard comes out of the third OBU turnover. 3 minutes gone, 7 minutes to go first half. 29-26. Ouachita hanging around thanks to some great three-point shooting here early as they now have hit a total of 5 three-point baskets. They're 5 of 11. Autumn Avina has been called for a foul out high. That's going to be her first. And that will be team foul number 1 against Oklahoma Baptist here in the second period. Starting 5 out there for OBU. Lady Tigers will inbound. They lob it out high for Gertson. Mejia cross-courts at right side. Open for 3, Huell, and she knocked another one down. This is a team in Ouachita that shoots 33.5% from 3. OBU allows their opponents less than 33% from beyond the arc. Ouachita has scored 6 straight, and the game is tied at 29 as Avina throws it away. Look for a backdoor cutting Williams, and she let her too far underneath, out of bounds. Back-to-back turnovers for OBU, and now Ouachita a chance to retake the lead after trailing a moment ago, 29-23. Britton with the ball, flips it between the circles for Huell against the zone defense. Huell gets a return pass, kicks it right side for Gertson to Bullard. 15 to shoot for Ouachita. Wing right with it is Huell. Bullard sets a screen. Huell drives into the paint, leans and scores from 6. Olivia Huell getting into the paint now has 7. Ouachita has scored 8 straight. They lead by a bucket. 31-29 as we wind towards 6 minutes to play in the first half. Coleman comes to a jump stop in the paint, kicks it left. Avina pulls up, foul line left. Back rims that one. Autumn crashes for the rebound. And the rebound to Corey Bullard. Bullard hands it off to Gertson, who attacks. Now finds a wide open Crow underneath it. Eden, who just checked in, rattles the layup in. A 10-0 Ouachita run, and Casey Bays has seen enough. Time out of the floor, 5:54 to play in the first half. Ouachita leads at 33-29 over OBU. We'll pause. This is Lady Bison basketball on KGFF.
I'm Attorney Noble McIntyre at McIntyre Law. In today's world, insurance is like oxygen. You cannot live without it. Did you know the insurance company has an obligation to act on your claim in good faith? Did you know the insurance company must investigate your claim fully and must pay in full in a timely manner? When the insurance company does not follow these rules, they are acting in bad faith and you are entitled to compensation. Know your rights. If you or someone you love needs our help fighting an insurance company, call McIntyre Law today. On behalf of myself and the entire McIntyre Law team, I can assure you, no one will work harder than we will.
OBU basketball brought to you by the banking team you can count on, the First National Bank and Trust Company, your bank for life. Todd Miller with you, Noble Complex, OBU Campus, Shawnee. Ouachita trailed by 6. They've scored 10 straight to lead by 4 with 5:45 to play in the first half. Coleman spins to the foul line, pitches it left to Williams. On the baseline to Edge to Cooper. Kadisha kicks it back to Tasha. Her 3 in and out and almost kissed back, get off the window. Lady Tigers with a rebound, a chance to build on a 10-0 run. They are shooting 59% as Ouachita here in the first half, including 6 of 12 for 50% from three-point range. Gertson with it, foul line right on the wing. Leaves it between the circles now for Huell. Huell bounces it top of the key for Eden Crow. Crow bounces it for Bullard and pulls up foul line left. Missed the elbow jump shot. Coleman with a rebound. Shaylin with her third rebound of the ball game goes coast to coast. Kicks it out left for Edge. For three, that one is short. Tasha started to cool. And underneath with a rebound is Madison Britton. 33-29 our score with under 5 to play in the first half. Huell with the basketball, looking to drive. Williams cuts her off. Now it's Britton, the hero for the win at Southern Nazarene on Thursday night with the buzzer-beating three to lift Ouachita to a 69-68 win. Bullard is cut off, foul line left. Cross courts it again for Britton. That three doesn't go. Madison has drawn the cold hand. She's about the only one for Ouachita from beyond the arc. OBU down by 4. It's still a 10-0 Ouachita run. Williams with it. Foul line extended left wing. Between the rings out front, Mackenzie Cooper. Cooper left of the Kadisha Cooper screen. Fires a three and got it. Mackenzie needed just a little separation to knock down her 63rd three of the year. Cooper has 7 of the first half. She had 12 here against Henderson State on Thursday night. 33-32. Mack in the first meeting, 16 points on 4 of 10 three-point shooting. Bullard tries to drive. Now is cut off. Gets it to Crow, who drives in and misses the layup. Edge with the rebound. Outlets to Coleman. Shea through the top of the circle to Cooper. Back gives it up. Fake drives. Pulls up from 11. Missed it baseline left. Rebound tipped, and Huell has it. Olivia up the left sideline of the counterattack for the black, purple, and gold-cladded Lady Tigers. Huell was cut off with a block. Leaves it left side for Bullard. Cross courts it for Britton for three. Got it. Yep, just on cue, Madison Britton finally gets the lid off the basket. She had been 0 of 3 from beyond the arc before that make. 36-32. Ouachita on a 13-2 run with 3:19 to play here in the first period, or first half. Coleman with it to McKenzie out front. Almost stolen by Britton. Mack gets it back to Alexi. Back to Cooper. Mack with the left hand drives in, throws up a little running 6-footer and feathers it down with the left hand. McKenzie with 4 straight on the board for OBU. She has 9 of the period in the first half, but it's 3 minutes to go before intermission. OBU down 2. And at the other end, they let Bullard run right over Cooper, and then Cooper falls down and Bullard lays it in. How was that not a foul? Casey Bays is up off the bench, and she's not going to win any argument. 38-34, Lady Tigers with 2:46 to play in the half. Williams cross courts it. McKenzie open for 3. Missed that one as she missed it short left wing. Rebound underneath to Olivia Huell. 38-34. Ouachita leading at Oklahoma Baptist late first half. Bullard will put up a 3. It's short off the front rim. Britton with the rebound, runs it down to the foul line and loops it out high for Gertson. Another offensive rebound for Ouachita Baptist. That is their second of the ball game, and Gertson pays this one off with a 3 right circle. Unbelievable. This team does not shoot well from three-point range. They already have made 8 three-point baskets. They're over 50% beyond the arc. They lead it by 7. That's the biggest lead for either side today. Coleman able to get from wing right into the paint and misses a well-defended jump shot. Not a great shot by Shaylin. Rebound to the Lady Tigers. Gertson with it to the front court. Gets it to Britton. Down low to Eden Crow. Gives it up fake and throws it in off the window. And OBU wants a timeout. Timeout Ouachita. 1:52 to play in the first half. Lady Tigers lead Oklahoma Baptist 43-34. We're back in a moment on KGFF. For the first time this afternoon, Tasha Edge will go to the bench. Kadisha Cooper comes in. Cooper's been the only reserve played thus far, as Casey has used just 6 players at OBU down 9 with the basketball, with 1:41 to play in the first half. Lexi Williams with it to Shaylin Coleman, left corner. Coleman bounces it for Cooper, who fumbles it. Kadisha in the paint, kicks it out right baseline for Avina. Against the zone to Mack, who drives, dumps it to Avina, who feathers it to Cooper, and Kadisha came up short. She babied the shot from 2 feet and hit the front rim, and it's out of bounds off of OBU. Lady Bison off to a terrible shooting start, 37.5%, 12 of 32. Ouachita at 57%. Surely they cannot keep this torrid pace up in the second half, or can they? 1:12 to play before halftime, 43-34, Ouachita. Lady Tigers face a zone. They cross-court it right to left to Britton for 3. Got it over Williams. Madison Britton knocks down her second 3. She's hit 2 straight after starting the day 0 for 3. 46-34, under a minute to go in the first half. Coleman curls around a screen out front, bounces right side for Avina. To McKenzie out front, Cooper left of the Kadisha screen, backs it out, fires a 3, hit the heel of the rim and bound into the winning arms of Gertson. 1 and done right now for OBU. Under the midway point of the second half, they have not had a second chance. 46-34 Ouachita, 36 seconds to go in the first half. Gertson with it, foul line extended right wing, leaves it for Morgan Miller. Top of the key to Clay. Clay bounces it for Gertson. Back to Miller, foul line extended right wing. Now to Clay on a lob pass. They double her on the block. She kicks it across the floor. 3 on the way is short by Britton. And Kadisha Cooper with a rebound. Shot clock is off. 15 seconds to play in the first half. Into the front court with it is Avina. Diagonally dribbles through the paint. Bounces it right quarter for Williams, who sidesteps to the wing. 5 seconds to play in the half. Kadisha Cooper with it. Top of the circle to McKenzie, who looks up. 2 seconds to go in the half. Mack drives in. Had it knocked out of her hands with 1.7 seconds to go before halftime. 46-34. Ouachita Baptist on top of Oklahoma Baptist and Shawnee. Avina to inbound, looking for Cooper. It's stolen away, and a travel against Owens, but well after the horn. So an ugly first half for Oklahoma Baptist. They trail at halftime 46-34 in a game that they led by 2 at the end of 1. It actually had a 6-point second period lead. Still 20 minutes of basketball to go, but you ask what the big deal is. Well, there's a big difference between OBU winning games and losing games based on what happens at halftime. Lady Bison, in 10 games they've led at the break, 9-1, and the 10 they've trailed at halftime, just 2-8. We are at intermission, 46-34 Ouachita. First half numbers are in. We'll check them next on Classic Hits, KGFF.
I'm Attorney Noble McIntyre at McIntyre Law. Oklahoma is Tornado Alley. We have more tornadoes than any other state in the country. When you buy insurance, you believe you're buying peace of mind. But having insurance is just the first step in protecting your most important asset, and you are entitled to be fully compensated by your insurance company. Know your rights. You need a lawyer who has the resources and experience to take on those big insurance companies. Call McIntyre Law today. On behalf of myself and the entire McIntyre Law team, I can assure you, no one will work harder than we will.
At Oklahoma Baptist University, we'll help you find your passion in a community where your professors know you by name.
We'll help you find your purpose by bringing faith and knowledge together through a Christian perspective.
We'll help you find your future with a world-class education that prepares you for a successful career.
We'll help you find a place to grow into who you were meant to be.
Come grow with us. OBU, find your place.
Trade it in for more and buy it for less. At Hudeberg Chevy in Midwest City, it's that simple. Get more money for your trade and buy new Chevys for less. And you'll get payments that fit any budget. HudebergGM.com.
You can count on Hudeberg, we'll give you more.
Welcome back to the Noble Complex here in Shawnee.
Oklahoma Baptist trails Ouachita Baptist 34-46 at halftime. I'm Cassidy Fletcher with your halftime report. Lady Bison struggled from the field in that opening 20 minutes, shooting just 12 of 34, 35%. They were 29% from three-point range, just 4 of 14. Lady Bison did get to the free throw line 6 times, knocking down all 6 free throws. For Ouachita, they shot a tremendous 56%, 18 of 32 from the field, including a huge 9 of 18 from behind the three-point arc. They were also 50% at the free throw line, splitting a pair of tries at the charity stripe. OBU outscored Ouachita in the paint 16-12. Turnovers were low for both clubs, just 4 turnovers each. OBU taking slightly more better advantage than Ouachita. Lady Bison up 9-7 in points off turnovers. Rebounds dead even at 18 each, but OBU plus 4 on the offensive glass over Ouachita, 6-2. That led to a 10-5 advantage for Oklahoma Baptist in second chance points. But the Lady Bison bench was scoreless in that first half. OBU played just 6 players. Kadisha Cooper, the lone sub in the first half, she played 10 minutes and was 0 for 2 from the field. But the Ouachita bench scored 21 points, so the Lady Bison reserves outscored by the Ouachita bench 21-0 in that opening half. There were 5 ties, 4 lead changes, back and forth really the entire first half in this one. Ouachita led by as many as 12. That is their final margin at the half. Lady Bison were up by as much as 6 with 7 minutes, 7.5 to go in the first half. And after that, it was just an onslaught by Ouachita. They closed very strong and own a 12-point lead at intermission. Tasha Edge had a big 15 points for the Lady Bison in the first half on 5 of 13 shooting. She also added 5 rebounds. So Tasha on pace for a double-double already. Mackenzie Cooper added 9 points on 3 of 9 shooting. Shaylin Coleman and Autumn Avina added 4 points each, and Lexi Williams scored 2 points. Lexi led the way with 2 assists. Tasha had 5 rebounds, and Autumn had a block to go along with an assist. OBU trails Ouachita 34-46 at halftime. We've got more looks at the first half numbers as well as a peek at the Great American Conference scoreboard when we return. This is Lady Bison basketball on Classic Hits KGFF. Thank you, Bob. Back here at the Noble Complex, Oklahoma Baptist down by 12 at halftime, 46-34. Lady Bison trail Ouachita. I'm Cassidy Fletcher with your halftime report. Ouachita saw scoring from just about everybody. They have a very deep bench. Lady Bison used just one reserve, but there were 5 players off the bench for Ouachita in that first half. Leading the way, Olivia Huell with 7 points. Ouachita got 6 points from Maja Gertzen, Chastity Owens, Madison Britton, and Shakayla Bignog. 5 points from Corey Bullard, 4 each from Jaka Clay, Eden Crow, and 2 points from Morgan Miller in that first half. Ouachita was led by Owens with 4 assists, 5 rebounds for Huell, and Morgan Miller had the lone block in the opening 20 minutes. Again, Lady Bison shot just 35% from the field. It was a 56% performance for Ouachita. And they closed on a big run. They scored the final 10 points of the first half. And they flipped a 6-point Lady Bison lead into a 12-point lead for Ouachita. So an 18-point swing over the course of the second period. Lady Bison led by 2, 22-20 after the end of the one. And OBU just went ice cold over the last 8 minutes or so, scoring 12 points in the second quarter, while Ouachita poured in 26. Taking a look at some scores from around the Great American Conference. A lot of spring sports getting going. All of these scores from women's basketball, though. One game already final in Weatherford. Southwestern defeated Arkansas Tech 74-62. Southwestern continues to roll through the conference. In Bethany, Anderson State leads Southern Nazarene 30-26. Southern Arkansas leads East Central 34-31 in Ada. In Durant, Southeastern leading at home over Arkansas Monticello 43-34. And Harding trails Northwestern in Alva 29-36. Looking at the men's scores, Southwestern and Arkansas Tech just about ready to get going. Or excuse me, they're at halftime. Arkansas Tech leading Southwestern 50-40. We've had softball games being played. Baseball is going on right now. And in fact, on this campus, just across the street, the Bison hosting Manhattan Christian for a doubleheader to end their series after the Bison had a combined no-hitter on opening day yesterday. So lots of different sports going on right now. Saw Hayden Ashley for the indoor track team finished second in the heptathlon at the Delod Doss Invitational at Kansas State. So going up against some pretty tough competition there. The rest of the track team, the majority of them are in Norman this afternoon. Again, softball on the road, baseball's here. Lacrosse took down Southern Wesleyan. They won 13-1 for their first win of the season, so they're now 1-1. Very busy time here on Bison Hill as all the spring sports get started and all the winter sports coming to a close. Lady Bison here in the Noble Complex. They trail Ouachita 34-46. When we come back, Todd Miller rejoins us for the call for the second half. This is Lady Bison basketball on Classic Hits, KGFF.
I'm Attorney Noble McIntyre at McIntyre Law. Did you know that an 18-wheeler outweighs your car 10-1? An 80,000-pound 18-wheeler can cause serious or fatal injuries to you and your family during collisions, and trucking companies need to be held to higher standards. Know your rights. Many companies and their drivers are cutting corners and violating federal regulations. As a result, trucking fatalities are on the rise. Don't trust your family's future to someone who does not have experience in the trucking industry. On behalf of myself and the entire McIntyre Law team, I can assure you, no one will work harder than we will.
Trade it in for more, buy it for less. It's that easy. At Hudeberg Buick GMC in Midwest City, it's that simple. Get more money for your trade and buy new Buicks and GMCs for less. HudebergGM.com.
You can count on Hudeberg, we'll give you more.
Well, it took 2 periods for OBU to dig this hole. Let's see if they can dig out over the final 20 minutes. And here we go, third period underway for the Noble Complex. Ouachita with the basketball, moving from left to right. They hand it off out high for Owens, who goes in. Coleman blocks the shot. Owens gets it back, is rushed into a jump shot that overshot the rim. Lady Bison with a rebound. Coleman tries to attack, is cut off right block. Now she accelerates on the baseline, flips it out to Cooper. McKenzie drives and misses the layup. Underneath the rebound to Corey Bullard. That's something the Lady Bison got away from in the second period, was attacking after getting really in the first period everything they wanted. Three-pointer on the way, and it's good by Britton, who now has 3 3-point baskets. 10 made threes today for Ouachita, and they lead by 15, 49-34. Avina with it left side. Yo-yo dribbles, looking for a screen. Edge goes to the block. Avina funnels a pass top of the circle for Williams. Throws up a runner. Missed it from 11 going down the paint. And Gertson with a rebound. Ouachita by 15. It's their biggest lead of the afternoon. Wing left with it is Miller. Morgan gives it up top of the circle to Bullard. Corey slide steps, hands it off to Britton. Britton lobs it left corner. Miller falling out of bounds, saves it back in. Between the rings with it is Owens. Looks up at the shot clock. 12 to shoot. Gertson with it. Beers left, reverses to Bullard on the baseline. Bullard backing down against Cooper, forced into an off-balance shot. It rolls off no good. Good defense by Mack. OBU still has not scored. We played 90 seconds here of the third period. They trail 49-34 and trailed at halftime by a dozen. Avina with it to Williams, foul line right side against the Ouachita man-to-man. Now to Cooper, who drives, scoops it up and in, and Mack is fouled. They've been able to hear Mack hitting the floor hard as she'll have a chance at a three-point play, and a much-needed one at that for OBU as Corey Bullard picks up the foul. Cross-campus baseball in the second inning, all over Manhattan Christian, 10-0. Softball dropped their first game today at Southeastern, losing to Washburn 11-3. Cooper hits the foul shot. Mack now has a dozen of the ball game, and that's the deficit for OBU. 49-37 with 8:10 to go in the third period. And we get a whistle and a offensive foul down low called against Bullard. They caught her for pushing and shoving, and it was one-on-one, I believe, with Tasha Edge on the low post. So the first turnover of the second half for Ouachita allows the Lady Bison a chance to cut further into what was once a 15-point deficit. 8:11 to play, third period for the Noble Complex. And an offensive foul called against Tasha. Check that, against Mackenzie Cooper at the other end. Officials this afternoon, Misty Overstreet, Paula Ross, and Alonzo Cornegie. 49-37 our score. It looked like they may be going to tighten it up a little bit with the whistle here in the second half. Huell has it knocked away from her out of bounds as she comes across midcourt by Coleman. Still a long ways to go, and OBU within striking distance, down 49-37. And you have to believe that Ouachita is not going to continue to shoot 56% and better than 50% from three. But OBU's got to turn it up defensively. Gertson hands it off between the circles for Bullard. They find a cutting Miller. She's covered up on the block. Kicks it out to Mejia for three. Got it. Gertson hits the three-point basket. She has 15 of those coming in. She's got a fifth of those today. Coleman through the defense at the other end lays it in. Shea has 6 points. 52-39. That's exactly what Casey Bays talked to her girls about at halftime. Attacking the goal. Don't settle. Between the circles with it, Morgan Miller. Veers left, hands it off for Owens. Chastity right of a screen from Bullard. Attacks against Avina, who blocks the shot. And Avina, jumping up and down, thought she was vertical. And I have to agree with her. Autumn instead is going to pick up her second personal foul. Autumn gets a lot of block shots like that. Avina has the second most blocks on the ball club, and that's when defenders go right at her. She's able to stay vertical and rake the ball out of their hands. First free throw is up, and it's good by Owens. Ouachita enters the day a game ahead of OBU for fourth in the Great American Conference standings. Lady Bison used but just one reserve in the first half. Second free throw by Owens is good. And Ouachita's bench with a 21-0 scoring advantage over the reserve of OBU. Into the paint goes Coleman. It's knocked out of her hands. Cooper picks it up at the foul line. Mack reverses left side for Avina. Now to Cooper. Drive it in. Sets it up to Edge. She'll fire a three. No good. Rolled off. Almost went back in. Williams was in position for the rebound, but Owens has it. Owens brings it to the front court to Gertson. Cross courts it wing right. It's tipped out of bounds over the Ouachita bench. Another final from Southeastern. Softball lost to Missouri Southern this afternoon 4-2. So they start the year 1-3 down in Durant. Out high with it is Miller. Good dump pass to a cutting Owens, who finishes off the window. 56-39, the lead back to 13 with 6:45 to go. Coleman through the paint. Runner good, and she's fouled. Shea has 8 and a chance to make it 9. You could see that the message was taken to heart with Casey in the locker room. Her girls routinely getting into the paint again as Morgan Miller picks up the foul. Miller will check out. Coming in is Olivia Huell. Also checking in is Jakaya Clay. Ouachita using 4 players off their bench. OBU just one in the first half. 56-41. The deficit is now 14 as Coleman hits the second free throw. 6.5 minutes to go, third period. Got to start getting stops. Huell with it between the circles for Gertson. Back to Olivia, foul line right to Mejia. They cut her off of the block. She cross-courts it. Open for three. Britton, no good. Rebound pulled down by Huell. Huell pivots, goes up, hit the front of the rim, and Edge has the rebound. Lady Bison dodged a couple of bullets there. One an open three, the other a stick back. Coleman through the paint to the goal. Layup good. Shea Lynn has 11 points at OBU and a little 5-0 run. Has cut it down to 56-44. In the backcourt, Jakaya Clay hands it off to Gertson. She comes to a jump stop. Funnels a pass left forecourt for Madison Britton. Britton right of a screen. Cross courts it for Huell. Huell looking for Gertson. Now veers back middle of the floor with 12 to shoot for Ouachita. OBU in a man-to-man defense. Right wing with it is Britton. She tries to drive. Now crosses back over. Edge cuts her off. They bounce it for Gertson. Her three is short. Rebound to Avina. Good defense by OBU. Autumn 2 dribbles up ahead to Shea. Coleman picks her dribble up right wing. Cross courts it for Cooper for 3. That one is off the front rim. And the rebound weak side to Owens. Chastity down the middle of the floor, accelerates through the top of the circle, and Lexi Williams steals it. Williams back the other way, 2-on-1 with Edge. Bounces it to Tasha. Layup missed. Rebound juggled and tipped to Edge, who lays it in. Now it worked out okay. Olivia Huell juggled the rebound, and when she did, she tipped it right to Tasha, who finished it, putting the garbage in the compactor. Lady Bison have scored 7 straight. They're within 10 with 5:06 to play in the third. Baseline right with it is Owens. Cross courts it for Gertzo. Out high with it is Olivia Huell. Under 5 to play here in the third period. Ouachita doing what they love to do and slowing the ball game down. 8 to shoot. They bounce it out high. Huell kicks it over the right side. Britton's 3 is short off the front rim. Coleman the rebound. Coleman weaves around Gertson, who makes a foul at midcourt. That's probably a good foul because it was about to be 2-on-9 at the other end. Mahia Gertzone has her first personal foul. We get a timeout. OBU started to come to life. Lady Bison trailed by 17. They're on a 7-0 run. They trail 56-46 with 4:46 to go in the third. We'll step aside. This is Oklahoma Baptist basketball on KGFF.
I'm Attorney Noble McIntyre at McIntyre Law. Nothing is more important than your family and your loved ones. If you've suffered a loss due to the negligence of someone else, you are entitled to recover for the loss of love, affection, and grief. Wrongful death cases are unique, and most lawyers have never tried one. The insurance companies know this, and they take advantage of it. Know your rights. Put your family's future in the hands of an experienced trial lawyer. Call McIntyre Law today. On behalf of myself and the entire McIntyre Law team, I can assure you, no one will work harder than we will.
Well, we wondered if Ouachita could keep up the torrid shooting pace. The answer thus far, no in the second half. Just 3 of 10 of the Lady Tigers. OBU's turned it up, 45.5% field goal shooting, thanks to attacking the goal. Williams with it to edge. Tasha with a double-double today of 17 and 10. Coleman just inside the arc, knocks down a long 2-point jump shot, and she has helped us spear this run. OBU within 8 at 56-48 with 4:15 to play in the third period. Olivia Huell with it to the front court. Gets it to Gertzone, back to Huell. Wing right with the basketball is Huell. Attacking, firing, jump shot in and out. Avita with a rebound. Knocked to the floor and fouled by Shakayla Burknall. And that'll be her first personal. 56-48 OBU. They've trailed by as many as 17. And that was a little more than 2.5 minutes ago at the 6:53 mark. Here of the third period, we're now at 4:11, and that's the 5th foul against Ouachita. So Autumn Avina is going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Autumn, a 86.5% foul shooter of the year. Starting 5, going most of the way today for OBU. This could be a 6-point game if Autumn can convert both. Foul shot on the way, and it's good. Autumn Avina with her 5th point of the day. Avina 2 of 3 shooting. Has 1 assist, 3 turns, a block, and 12 minutes of play thus far. Second one by the Austin native is good. Autumn Avina has 6 points, and that's the deficit. 11-0 the OBU run. 4:06 to play in the third period. Gertzone with it, looks down low. Cross courts it for Beckno. Right side for Britton. Britton leaves the top of the circle for Huell, guarded by Lexi Williams. Huell bounces it to Gertzone, going back door. It's deflected by Avita. Coleman has it. OBU a chance to extend an 11-0 run. Coleman behind the back, into the front court. Jab steps, top of the circle. Now crosses over and feeds it out high left front court in front of us for Avina. She ankle dribbles backwards near the midcourt stripe. Still plenty of time on the shot clock, 12 to shoot. Coleman right of a screen, missed it for the elbow. Left, and the rebound off the floor picked up by Jakaya Clay. 3.5 minutes to go in the third. OBU's within 6, 56-50. Driving baseline is Britton. Reverses wing left for Beckno. Cross courts it out front for Gertzone. Gertzone with the basketball. Now leaves it into the hands of Clay. To Huell. Huell with the left hand gets into the paint, pulls up left block, missed it. But Lexi Williams commits the foul, and Lexi has her first personal. So 2 free throws upcoming for Ouachita Baptist as they try desperately to snap an 11-0 Lady Bison run after Ouachita. At the 6:53 mark of the third period, it built a 17-point lead. First foul shot by Huell is good. Huell 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. She was 3 of 5 when these two teams played November the 30th in Arkadelphia. A 66-60 Ouachita win over OBU. Second foul shot good. Huell today now has 9 points. Huell had 14 and 5 at the start of this road trip for Ouachita. After this game, the Lady Tigers have just 2 more games outside of Bill Viney Arena all season long. Avina spins in, draws the contact, misses the layup. Autumn with a rebound underneath. Gets it to edge. The ball tipped and stolen. A lot of contact and no whistle. Madison Britton Leaves it for Gertzone. Gertzone crosses over, attacks left, goes backdoor and feeds it right to Coleman. Shaylin with the interception. 2-on-1 to Avina. Fakes the pass, now belatedly goes up and throws it away, and then Autumn commits the foul. That was an absolutely terrible 2-on-1 break run by Shaylin Coleman. She faked the pass, then went to the rack. Ouachita didn't bite. She was covered up. By the time she decided to cross-court it, it was too late as three Lady Tigers were back in the paint. 58-50 Ouachita, 2:32 to play in the third. Olivia Huell with the basketball to Gertzone left side. Bounces it for Huell, who fumbles it, saves it in bounds underneath her own goal to Lexi. Williams to midcourt. Up ahead now for Avina. Shoots high off the window with a layup. Missed it. Edge crashing for the rebound. Loses it out of bounds and then goes sliding on the rear end almost to the doorway, which leads back to the Lady Bison locker room. Monet Smith is going to come in. Autumn Avina will check out with 2:11 to play here in the third. Lady Bison trail by 17. They got it within 6. They're down 8 now. 58-50 and Ouachita with the basketball. Burko with it right side to Gertzone. Cross courts at left wing for Britton. Britton gets it down low. Backing down and scoring is Burko. She has 8 points, and that's 4 straight for Ouachita. They built the lead back to 10. 60-50 with under 2 to play here in the period. Smith bangs her way up, missed the shot. Rebound on the floor. Everybody standing around, and Ouachita has the basketball. Casey Bays is not happy, and Sydney Hyde about to be summoned into duty. Gertzone with the basketball. Bounces it over the right side. Huell attacks and goes at Smith, who forces into a travel. Monet Smith is going to check out. Sydney Hine will check in. Casey is upset because Monet Smith did not go after that loose basketball. Everybody was standing around. 10-point Ouachita lead. OBU hasn't scored more than a minute after they cut it to within 6. Lady Tigers have scored 4 straight. Coleman cross-courts it for Mackenzie Cooper. Cooper guarded by Beckno. Gets a screen, veers left, pulls up from 13, missed it short off the side of the rim. Coleman tried to run down the rebound, and a foul against Mackenzie Cooper. They're going to get her for a hold. Mack picks up her second personal foul, and that is team foul number 5 here in the third period against the Lady Bison. So Ouachita will go back to the line, a chance to build the lead back to 12. Four starters out there, the lone exception, Autumn Avina. Sydney Hine is out there for the first time today. Sydney averaging 3.2 points per ball game at her freshman year here on Bison Hill. First free throw is up, and that one is a brick by Beckno, who from the free throw line this year is less than 65%. Ouachita coming into this ball game, not a particularly great free throw shooting team. Under 67%, but they did hit 15 of 20 in their 1-point thrilling victory over Southern Nazarene and Bethany Thursday night to start the road trip. Shakayla hits the second. She's got 9 points. 5-0 the run for Ouachita. Minute to play here in the first period. Coleman slips, pitches it out on a bounce pass right side for Coleman. Coleman is covered up by Beckno. Hands it off again for Coleman. 55 seconds to play in the third. OBU down 11. Edge gives it up, fake, drives in. Now goes up at the shot block, but a foul. Clay has picked up her third. Well, I'll tell you, from here it looked like it was a pretty clean block. They're changing it and calling on Olivia Huell, and that's her second. So Tasha's going to go to the free throw line, where she's 2 of 2. Edge has 15, and most of those came in the first period plus of this ball game. Foul shot, back rims. Shaylin Coleman is hobbling after she slipped on the floor earlier in this possession. She'll have a seat on the bench, and Autumn Avina will come in. Second Edge free throw is good. Tasha hits 1 of 2. She's got 16. It's a 10-point game. 48 seconds to play, third period. Huell with it, wing left. Dumps it down low with the block for Clay, who's open, and she scores. Jakaya Clay with a layup. 63-51, 36 seconds to go here in the third. Avina to back, left front court. Holds it above her head, drives baseline left. Through a double team, scoops it up and missed it wide left. Rebound to Beckno. Correction, that's Huell, who's into the front court. She'll hand it off to Gertzone. Difference of about half a second of the shot in game clock, late third period. Gary Crowder was up off the bench at the other end, slowing his troops down. 10 seconds to shoot, a little more than 10 to play in the third period. It's a 12-point Ouachita lead. It's been as many as 17 here in the third. Huell crosses over, gets around Williams, lays it up, missed it off the front of the rim. Lexi the rebound, that'll do it on the third period. OBU lucky they're not down 14 after Huell had missed a layup. We go to the fourth and a crucial game for OBU. Lady Bison trails 63-51 to Ouachita. We're back in a moment on KGFF.
At Oklahoma Baptist University, we'll help you find your passion in a community where your professors know you by name.
We'll help you find your purpose by bringing faith and knowledge together through a Christian perspective.
We'll help you find your future with a world-class education that prepares you for a successful career.
We'll help you find a place to grow into who you were meant to be.
Come grow with us. OBU, find your place.
Through three periods, Ouachita shooting 50%, 23 of 46. OBU 18 of 53, 34%. 11 of 23 Lady Tigers today from three. 48%, OBU just 4 of 16. Rebounds +2 Lady Tigers. OBU +5, 9-4 the offensive glass. Ouachita with 10 turnovers to 6 for OBU. Lady Bison basketball, Hind to Williams, drives left baseline, missed it. Lexi is ice cold today, just 1 of 4 shooting after a great game here against Henderson State on Thursday night. 63-51, opening half minute of play of the fourth period. Eden Crow starts on the floor for Ouachita in the fourth period, handles it to Huell. Olivia sidesteps. Lexi Williams is on her. They bounce it backdoor. The pass was offline. It's run down by Miller. Miller then loses it, goes to the floor. Her bounce pass is intercepted by Williams. She'll cross-court it for Edge. Tasha, a good look at a three. Got it. Tasha Edge with her fourth three-point basket. Now 4 of 11 from beyond the arc. The fifth for OBU as a team. They average just under 8.5 makes per ball game. Single-digit deficit with a minute gone here with the fourth. 63-54. Down low with the basketball is Huell. She misses the bump. OBU the rebound. And then Avina throws it away. Turned and threw it right to Chastity Owens. She'll outlet to Huell. One-on-one against Avina, who goes up, misses the layup. Rebound tip. Sydney Hind has it. Hind being ridden to midcourt. Now has it 2-on-2. She'll go to the rim. Throws up a runner and drops it in. Sydney Hind with her first basket. Here come the Lady Bison again. 4 straight to start the fourth. They trail 63-56 with 90 seconds gone in the fourth period from Shawnee. Owens bounces it over the right side for Morgan Miller. Miller cross-courts it for Olivia Huell. 17 of the shot clock, and Ouachita with an unforced mistake. Huell tried to pitch it out right wing, and Owens couldn't get there. Nor did she make much of an effort as the ball just grazed her fingertips and went out of bounds into the Ouachita Baptist bench. Avina checks out of the ball game. Shaylin Coleman, that's a good sign after gimping off earlier here in the second half, comes back in. OBU has scored 4 straight, a chance to get even closer than 7. Cooper gets a cross-court pass, fires a three, missed it, and she's knocked to the floor. Eden Crow has her first, and Mackenzie Cooper, one of the best free throw shooters in all of the country, will go to the line for 3 free throws. If she hits both, it's a 4-point ball game with 8:07 to play. Now are they calling it after the shot? They're calling it after the shot. So OBU will inbound. Oh, I thought that was surely on the shot. Nobody's protesting, so my thought was wrong. Edge gets it to Coleman, who drives in, bounces it to Cooper, right corner. McKenzie picks her dribble up 15 feet away, right angle. Now gets it to Edge. He drives in. The shot was blocked. Tasha gets it back, going to the floor, throws it up. It was short. A lot of contact, no whistle again. Owens out of the pack with the basketball. Through the paint, goes right at Coleman. Shea blocks the shot out of bounds. It'll be the third block today for OBU and the second for Shaylin Coleman as Avina comes in against Sydney Hind. 7:41 to play. OBU trails by 7, 63-56. A game that they led by 6 in the second period with 7:44 to go before halftime. They trailed by 12, being outscored by 18 from that point going forward into the halftime locker room. Britton puts up a three and nailed it left wing. Madison Britton, the sophomore from Bentonville, knocks down her fourth three-point basket as a team. That now is the 12th three-pointer of the ball game for Ouachita. Back to a 10-point game, 66-56. 7:12 to play. Avina with a stationary dribble right side. Kicks it to Edge in the corner. Tasha one dribble to Cooper. Gets a screen, fires a three. Got it! Straight on. McKenzie knocks down the three. It's only her second of the day. She's down 1 of 8 from beyond the arc. 7-point game again, 66-59 with 6:48 to play. Wing left with it is Miller. Holds it above her head, dribbles out high. Reverses through the top of the circle. Britton, they get it to Miller, cut into the paint, and find her for the layup. That was a really good half-court set by the Lady Tigers, maybe their best of the afternoon. 9-point game with 6.5 to play. 68-59 Ouachita. Wing left with it is Avina's. Cut off with a block. Bounces it out high for Edge. Now to Cooper. She's run off the three-point arc. Attacks right of the paint. Ducks under a defender. Cross-courts it for Edge. She'll put up a three and banks it in. Holy Toledo, Tasha Edge with a defender in her face. Banks in a three for the left circle. It's a two-possession game. 68-62 with 6:12 to go. Britton being pressured out of the right wing by Coleman. Tries to drive. Drives baseline, reverses back to the wing. To Bullard out front. 12 to shoot for Ouachita, 6 to play in the ball game. 6-point ball game that's been a 17-point lead for the Lady Tigers. And Avina trying to deny a pass down low, goes over the back of Owens, and Autumn has picked up her fourth personal. So Sydney Hine, the true freshman from Guyman, will check in. Avina will go to the bench for the stretch run with 4 fouls as Shakayla Beckno comes in for Ouachita. 68-62, Lady Tigers with 5:54 to play in regulation. They'll cross court it, open for three, deep right corner. The shot rattles off to a good Ouachita, tips the rebound. Well, I'll tell you what, they had a good look with Bullard and it wouldn't drop. Williams for three, misses short, wing left. Edge, though, hustles after the rebound and loops the pass back out front for Coleman. 5:37 to go. OBU down 6 with the basketball. They've trailed by as many as 17. Coleman with a behind-the-back dribble. Pinched off top of the circle. Probes her way in, backs it out. Now to Cooper, right wing. She goes through the paint. Back door, layup good. It's a 4-point game. 68-64 with 5:20 to play. Wing right is Chastity Owens. Gets a screen. Drives baseline. Coleman cuts her off. She draws a double team. Tries to kick it underneath the ball. Out of bounds. Last touch by Morgan Miller. The Lady Tigers this year, 3-6 in true road games, 3-5 in Great American Conference play. They have only 2 more road games remaining after this visit to Shawnee today. 4-point game. Williams gets a bounce pass out high. Cross courts it left side for Edge. Edge through the paint. Puts it up, back rimmed it, no good. Tasha crashes for the rebound. Bullard has it. To Britton. Britton up the right side of the counter attack for Ouachita. Lobs it underneath. Beckno catches, shoots, shot, hit the back rim, wouldn't go. Edge picks the ball up off the floor for the rebound. She has a double-double to Lexi to Coleman. Coleman crosses over, works right to left through the paint. To Hine for three. That one will not go. Williams with the rebound runs it down right corner. With 4.5 minutes to play, OBU down 4 with the basketball. 68-64 Ouachita Baptist. Shaylin Coleman with a stationary dribble out front. Now steps inside the arc, puts up a contested 2. It's off the mark, and I don't know that that was necessarily the shot that Casey Bays was looking for. Lady Tigers with the rebound, and it looks like Owens may have been hit in the nose. She's dabbing her to the nose. Brings the ball to the front court, and we get a timeout. And Owens slams the basketball down as she walks over to the Ouachita bench. I'm wondering why they did not tee up Chastity Owens. Misty Overstreet and Paula Ross, 2 of the 3 officials, getting together. And we get an official timeout on the floor with 4:08 to play. Lady Bison basketball brought to you by the First National Bank and Trust Company, where their team is committed to yours. Visit their MacArthur or Fire Lake branch locations for more details about our products and services, or check us out online at fnbokla.com. That's the First National Bank and Trust Company, your bank for life. Member FDIC. Bison basketball brought to you by Rob's Smokehouse, a proud supporter of OBU Hoops. They would love to cater your next get-together.
I'm attorney Jordan Sutherland at McIntyre Law. 1 in every 4 Oklahoma drivers is driving
63:35 to schedule your event. Also, don't forget, Bison fans, you can stop by any of Grissom's 6 locations today and see that our team is looking forward to serving you at prices you would never expect, because at Grissom's, doing good is good business. Todd Miller with you courtside at the Noble Complex. We collect our breaths. 4:08 to play in the ball game. Ouachita's 17-point lead is down to 4, 68-64. Sydney frustrated with herself. Out of the timeout, has a seat on the bench, and she claps her hands hard, knowing she missed a great look at a three-point basket. No, you're not the only one. OBU 7 of 21, and 5 of their 7 threes today have come for the senior from Colorado, Tasha Edge. Edge has 24 points, 13 rebounds. Cooper with 17, Coleman with 13. The double-figure scores, and Mack with a steal at the other end. 14 turnover the ball game for Ouachita. Cooper to Coleman out front. Shea puts the ball on the floor, leaves it left wing for Edge, who turns to a 3 as Bullard comes racing out there with a face. 3:44 to play in regulation. OBU down 4 with the basketball. Coleman to Cooper, wing left. Right of a screen from Avita, who's back out there with 4 fouls. Shot clock at 9. Autumn holds it above her head to Edge, who cuts left to the paint, scoops it up, missed it. Corey Bullard with a rebound. That was well defended. Ouachita up by 4. Bullard with it. Bounces it for Gertzone. Right side. She'll cross court at left front court for Miller. On the wing with it is Britton. Shot clock at 12. Game clock at 3:15 to play. And a foul against Shaylin Coleman, or they've called a foul down low against Ouachita. They've called it on Madison Britton, and that is going to be her first. So the Lady Tigers have turned it over on back-to-back possessions, leading by 4. The first time OBU was unable to get closer than 4. Let's see if they can parlay this mistake into some more points off of a turnover advantage. They lead by 6 in that column, 14-8, despite forcing 15 and just turning it over 7 times themselves. Williams with it above her head out front to the cutter Cooper. Bounces it for Coleman left baseline. Coleman yo-yo dribbles, gets free of the defender, draws a double team, cross-courts it for Edge for 3. Got it! Tasha Edge with her 6th three-point of the day. OBU's within 1, 68-67. Long ways to go with 2:38 to play. Out front with it is Miller. Morgan hands it off to Gertzone. She waves Britton off and sets the offense out front. They'll bounce it to Bullard. Bullard bounces it for Beckno, and it's off of her fingertips out of bounds. 3 consecutive empty possessions for Ouachita, and their head coach, Gary Crowder, has seen enough. Timeout, Lady Tigers. 2:31 to go in the ball game. OBU trailed by 17 to the 3rd. They have it down just 1 when we return on Classic Hits KGFF.
I'm attorney Jordan Sutherland at McIntyre Law. 1 in every 4 Oklahoma drivers is driving without car insurance. Some of those drivers can cause accidents that can seriously injure people. Take action today to protect yourself and your family from other drivers. Talk to your agent to make sure you have uninsured motorist coverage. If you or a loved one have been injured as a result of someone else's negligence, call McIntyre Law today. On behalf of myself and the entire McIntyre Law team, I can assure you no one will work harder than we will.
Trade it in for more and buy it for less. At Hudiburg Chevy in Midwest City, it's that simple. Get more money for your trade and buy new Chevys for less. And you'll get payments that fit any budget. HudiburgGM.com.
You can count on Hudiburg, we'll give you more.
(68-67) Ouachita Baptist, 2:31 to play. Tasha Edge with 27, 1 shy of her career high of 28 against Southern Arkansas here in November. She also, for the 3rd time this year, has made 5 or more three-pointers in a ball game. It's the 2nd time she's made 6. The other was in the season opener against Missouri Southern. And of the previous 3, of 5 or more made threes for Edge, OBU 3-0. Cooper with it to Tasha, slot right. On the wing with it is Williams. Lexi with Gerstone on her. Leaves it for Coleman inside the arc, right side. Diagonally cross-courts it. Avina's 10-footer won't go. With a rebound to Bullard. With 2:03 to play in regulation, Ouachita nursing a 1-point lead with the basketball. 68-67 Lady Tigers. They led 63-51 after 3, so just 5 points here in the 4th period. Britton will put up a 3, misses that back rim, wing right. Cooper with a rebound. Another opportunity for OBU to get to the high side. Coleman to Williams on a kick out right corner. Lexi dribbles. Edge calling for it. Fires a three. It rattles off to the top of the circle. Rebound underneath to Owens, and she was off balance and fell to the floor. That's a travel. Olivia Huell is going to come back in for Ouachita Baptist, and go to the bench will be Morgan Miller, who has but just 4 points. Well below her 9-point per game average coming in. Lady Bison, another chance, their second straight possession to take their first lead since the first half. In fact, early in the second period, Lexi Williams with it to McKenzie, wing right. Mack, foul line extended, holds it in front of or above her head. Now works to the top of the circle, probes her way with a behind-the-back dribble. Leaves it right slot for Edge. Tasha funnels a pass to Coleman. Shot clock at 10. Game clock at 1:14 to play. OBU down 1. Coleman works in, sets Edge up for 3. Got it! With 3 on the shot clock! Holy Toledo, a new career high for Tasha. OBU leads by 2, 70-68, with a minute to go in the ball game. Left side, it's Gerstone with the basketball. Between the circles for Huell. Huell attacking against Williams, who forced her into an off-balance layup, but they're going to bail her out and call the foul against Lexi with her second personal foul. OBU, in 9 minutes and 8 seconds of this fourth period, have held Ouachita Baptist to 5 points in the period. The fourth has been at Achilles heel for the Lady Tigers this year. They've been outscored by a net of 27, en route to an 11-9 record overall, but Huell hits the first free throw. This to tie the score at 70. Game being played, as far as the score is concerned, to the liking of Ouachita. And Huell hits the second. It wasn't pretty. It had back English. It rattled out, hit the right side of the rim, and fell back in. And there's a timeout on the floor. It's a full 60, so we'll pause. 51 seconds to play. OBU basketball when we return. We are tied at 70 on Classic Hits KGFF.
At Oklahoma Baptist University, we'll help you find your passion in a community where your professors know you by name.
We'll help you find your purpose by bringing faith and knowledge together through a Christian perspective.
We'll help you find your future with a world-class education that prepares you for a successful career.
We'll help you find a place to grow into who you were meant to be.
Come grow with us. OBU, find your place.
Tasha Edge with a career-best 30 points, 7 made three-pointers, has now moved past Holubova and Bayless into 14th, all-time on the career scoring list at Oklahoma Baptist. More importantly, OBU, Ouachita tied at 70. Edge inbounds across the wing on a side in. The count was on. Coleman gets free, and Tasha finds her. Coleman hands it off to Williams, right of an edge screen. Now she works to the foul line, backs it out on a lateral dribble to the wing. 15 to shoot. Game clock at 35 seconds to play. Avina back to Shaylin Coleman. Shot clock at 10. We're tied at 70. Game clock at 28 seconds to play. Coleman with the crossover dribble. Pivots, goes up for the foul line. In and out goes the jump shot. Ouachita with a rebound. Madison Britton has it. And a timeout call by the Lady Tigers. Boy, Shaylin Coleman's shot was in the cylinders and it rattled out. Ouachita able to corral the rebound with Madison Britton. And we have a timeout. We'll keep it right here with 20.7 seconds to play. This isn't the season, but boy, if you drop both of these games against the two teams that you were staring at directly ahead of you in the conference standings at the start of the week, it is going to be a very, very difficult pill to swallow for Casey Bates and the Lady Bison. 21 seconds to play. Ouachita Baptist will have it with the shot clock off. Lady Bison defense has been exceptional here in the fourth period. Ouachita, since halftime, shooting right at 30%. The Lady Tigers have all of 7 made baskets since halftime. By comparison, Tasha Edge has 4 made three-point baskets herself. Lady Bison 70, Lady Tigers 70 inside the Noble Complex. OBU hoping to avoid a 3-6 home court record after today. Just 2 more home games at the Noble Complex. Bullard to inbound to Gertson. Here we go, 15 seconds to play. Shot clock is off. Gertson dancing with the basketball. Avina's on her, pokes it away. It's picked up by Ouachita and a foul called from the other side of the floor and Gary Crowder. That possession was going nowhere in a hurry. 11.1 seconds to play. It's a 30-second timeout called by Ouachita, so we will keep it right here. I think this is fun. Game 2 should be just as fun. The Bison of the Tigers. Next Thursday, we greet you at 5:05 from historical Rhodes-Reeves Fieldhouse in Searcy. Harding and Oklahoma Baptist, 5:30 and 7:30 for the doubleheader. And then the final Arkansas Road game of the year 1 week from today, 1 and 3 at Tucker Coliseum in Russellville. Softball dropped 2 today. OBU baseball clobbering Manhattan Christian in game 1 of their first doubleheader of the season. OBU baseball won last night 12-0, a perfect game. Lady Tigers to inbound. Gertson to do the honors, and the ball deflected by Williams into the backcourt. It's still free. Diving is Mackenzie Cooper. She has a timeout, OBU. Cooper was able to get to the loose basketball. She got a timeout called, and the Lady Bison have plenty of time to work with. It's a 30-second timeout, 6.5 seconds to play. OBU will have it in the front court. Gary Crowder has done this long enough. 39 seasons to be exact. Not much bothers him. He is about as cool, calm, and collected as he can be. Has one hand in his pocket. He has the other hand raised as he pleads to his team for a defensive stop. What a win this would be for OBU. And again, the Jekyll and Hyde nature of this team continues. Good first period, bad second period. Outstanding second half for the Lady Bison. Tied at 70, they'll have it. Mack to inbound in front of us, 6.5 seconds to play. Cooper lobs it for Coleman. Coleman goes up and in with 4.6 seconds to play. Timeout, Ouachita Baptist. Oh, what a perfectly executed play. Drawn up by Casey Bays and executed by Mackenzie Cooper and Shaylin Coleman. Coleman lobbed it from in front of our broadcast position to the right side of the goal. Shaylin Coleman went up, got it, came back down in traffic, and then was able to kiss it up and in off the window. And OBU is 4.6 seconds away from what in the third period looked to be an improbable situation. Down 17. And that came with less than 14 minutes to go in the ballgame. Ouachita Baptist has just 7 points in the second half. Casey, you're a genius. She didn't hear me. 72-70, 4.6 seconds to play. Oh, what a win this would be for OBU. It would move them into a tie for 4th in the conference standings with Ouachita. Lady Tigers will inbound. You don't want to foul. You don't want to give up a 3. In women's basketball, you can't advance into the front court, and Ouachita will throw it across the way. They're waiting to substitute now as Gertson is going to come in. And Morgan Miller will be taken out of the ballgame. Miller was actually the one that was lined up and was ready to inbound on the play. Crowder saying something to Misty Overstreet. Now he walks off. And here we go, 4.6 seconds to play. Gertson to inbound, leaves it left quarter. 2 dribbles for Huell, off balance, throws it up. It's an air ball, and that's the ball game. OBU comes from behind to beat Ouachita, 72-70. 72-70, the final score. Oklahoma Baptist in a thriller beats the Lady Tigers, a game that Ouachita clearly had control of leading by 17 with 6:53 to play. Jerry Crowder walking in front of us is in disbelief. 72-70 is the final score. Casey Bays is making her way to our broadcast position. We will hear from the 6th-year head coach, who has evened her career record at 3-3 against Ouachita Baptist. Lady Bison get their 12th win of the year. And Casey, Jekyll and Hyde, does any one game exemplify this program season more than this one does?
No, because every game, no matter if it's inconsistent, these girls fight till the very end. I'm so proud of them.
How about Tasha Edge? She was as much as she has been in her career, and she's had some big games.
We needed her big time to step up. She's kind of been quiet the past 3 or 4 games. Still hitting key shots, but today she really stepped up and knocked down some big threes for us. And boy, that was a fun game, wasn't it?
It was a fun game, but it's also shortening both you and I's lives, I'll tell you that.
My hair's starting to look like you.
Thank you, Casey. It's so nice to see you today. How about the defense in the second half? 7 points you give up in the 4th period.
Yeah, I mean, first quarter, we come out and do what we're supposed to do. We attack, we play defense. Second quarter, they come out and hit 6 threes. It's just like, again, Jekyll and Hyde every time. Third quarter, all right. Fourth quarter, we stepped up and played defense.
The reason you were able to get the 3-point baskets from Tasha, you were able to get penetration to the rim. That was something you did well in the first half, got away from, you told me at halftime, emphasized that, and they attacked really for the outset in the second half.
Ouachita really helps off on the drive. That's something we come into this game, we talked about, and something I talked to Tasha and McKenzie. Hey, when we attack, you guys got to be ready to shoot. And boy, Tasha was ready to shoot today. Thank goodness.
Don't you wish you had a breather in this league?
Yeah, unfortunately we don't.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Casey Bays visiting with us. Yes, she has 2 gray hairs. I have a head full, but hey, who's keeping track, right? 72-70. OBU a winner today. We're back with the final numbers in a moment on KGFF.